All right, Applied Tech Math, welcome to your e-learning video for Monday, January 26, 2026. All right, so watch, this is in your notes packet. All right, this is in your, your game plan, 5.5 to 5.9 game plan, plus you'll need a little paper for something here at the end. All right, so 161, I think we're gonna do this whole section together. It's a pretty easy one. It's all about pie charts. If your monthly bills are $300 for food, $200 for clothing, $100 for transportation, $600 for rent. Sketch a circle diagram. That's called a pie chart in the appropriate proportions. All right, so we have food, clothing, transportation, rent. 300 out of 1,200, 25%. 200 divided by 1,200 total, 16.7%. 100 divided by 1,200 gives you 8.3%. Yes, I need to see all this work if you want full credit when I grade this game plan. And lastly, 600 and 1,200, that's 50%. All right, so when you're making a pie chart, you do want to look for either one number or two numbers that's close to 50 because it's easy to make either a quarter or a half of a circle, right? So it doesn't have to go in the order of the numbers or the categories you were given. So what I did here is straight down the middle, cut in half, rent 50%. Then the next nice number to use here is food, 25%, because that's a quarter. So from here, I would draw a straight line down, and that's food, 25%. Then the other quarter is spent between clothing and transportation, and clothing is double transportation. So I made it look like it was double. It's got to be bigger. Clothing, 16.7%. Transportation, you can abbreviate T, 8.3%. All right, that is what we're after in these questions. Now we have $100 for food, $100 for transportation, $400 for rent. All right, so first off, you got to find the percentages. Always round to the nearest tenth of a percent. Food, it's 100 over 600. Transportation, it's 100 over 600. And rent, it's 400 over 600. So 66.7%. So rent's going to be over half. So what I do is put a dot in the middle, and I cut it halfway, and it's going to be more than 50%. So then I bring it down. All right, 66.7%. And then the other third is cut, split evenly. They're both at a 6. So I take that third, and I cut it in half. 16.7% for both. All right. Next one here, 163. All right, this one's almost too easy. Okay, so 60% of Americans 18 and over went to at least one movie in 2008, and then 40% didn't. All right, so what you do, again, halfway would be like that. That would be half. So you got to make it a little bit more. So that's why I made it go down like that. So 60% of people watch at least one movie. 40% did not attend a movie. All right. Next one here. 64% think kids spend too much time online, and 36% don't agree with that statement. Again, what I'm going to do is if I look here, this would be roughly 50%. It's going to be more, so that's why I drew it like that. 64% say they spend too much time online. 36% don't think so, or they don't agree with that. Submit. You don't have to do any math here because you were given those numbers for the next few. All right. 42% went to an amusement park that year, and then 58% didn't. So we're talking like Six Flags. Does Holiday World count? Does that count as one? Maybe an amusement park side. All right, so this would be half. So 42% is a little less. Went to amusement park. For 58% said no. Disney World's gonna obviously, it'll be the amusement park. 55% took part in exercise program, smiley face, and then frown face if you didn't. All right, exercise. So this is 50% right here. Okay, you're gonna make it a little bit more. I'm gonna say 55% took part in exercise, 45% didn't. All right, we're gonna make this a little bit bigger than 50%. 45% no program. All right. 7% of eligible Americans participated in the election in 2008, voted. All right, 39% did not vote. Definitely vote, people. Always vote, especially in April elections. Your vote counts big time in local ones. So voted, again, this would be half. All right, so we're going to make it a little bit more than half, 60.7%. No vote is at 39.3%. Two categories. So 89.6 of Americans, according to that Time Almanac of 2008, were native born. Your fifth favorite teacher here was actually born on a U.S. Army base in Wiesbaden, West Germany at the time. So I guess I would fall in the 10 point. He was born American citizen, but was born on foreign soil. Native born, so that's like almost all of it. So you're going to make a tiny little slice. 89.6. Not native born, 10.3%. You can, or 4%. You can also put 10.4% and then draw an arrow and say not native born on the outside. All right, pause this whenever you need to. You probably have a lot of e-learning assignments today. So I'm going to go through these easier notes a little bit quickly. All right, so they, as of 94, that's funny. So they own their home, 68.1%. So it's not 3/4, right? So this would be 3/4. So it's right there. It needs to be less than 3/4. And then they either rented an apartment or a home at 31.9%. All right, 35% of Americans 18 and older went to a sports events in that year. Okay, so again, it looks like roughly a third. That's half. It's definitely under half. 35% went to a game. 65% did not go to a game. All right, getting closer to being finished with these notes. 71% did not participate in charity, while 29% did. You notice you can already see the dotted line here. This would be a quarter. This would be a quarter, 25%. We need a little bit more at 29%. 29% did charity work. 71% did no charity work. All right, I think there's 175 or 174 is what we end at here. Breakdown of major import sources of the U.S. All right, so other is almost 50%. So here would be 50%, so others right there. And what we do in stats is we look for two numbers that are almost 50 or 25 when we add them together. If I take Germany and other, I get 49.1, which is basically 50%. So that's why I put Germany right there. Then if I take Canada and Mexico, I get 30%, which is a little bit over a quarter. So a quarter would be roughly right there. So Canada, 18%, Mexico, 11.6%. Then Canada and Japan make up the other 21.3, and they're basically the same. It does not have to go in this order. I mean, if you want to start with Canada first, like that's 25, so that would be like 18, and then Mexico would put us right here, and you can go like that. But I'm going to use other first because it's very close to 50. If I take Germany and other, I get 49.1. All right, so that was 172 is what we ended on. All right, I don't know, was there not a 173, 174? We'll have to talk about that in class. I think I accidentally copied the same page. So if you have another 175 all by itself, so put free points go Salukis. Okay. Because here's a 175, 176. Again, I did cut some out, but we'll talk about that when I see you again. All right. Breakdown of U.S. Consumption of energy. So industrial, transportation. I put transportation first because here is a quarter, and it's just bigger than a quarter. All right. And then residential and commercial. If I add those two together, I get a, 61.1, which is bigger than half. All right. And then industrial at 38.9%. Okay. Personal income, wages, and salaries is just a little bit bigger than 50. All right, so there it is. Other, that's another quarter. So get rid of this. This was an issue. So if I add those two together, I get 82.9. So it needs to be bigger, right? Others right there. And then those are going to essentially be the same. Okay. Other is a quarter, but the quarter starts over the halfway point. So it needs to be roughly there. Okay. So then what we're going to do is on a separate sheet of paper, you're going to turn this in. When I see you again, will it be Tuesday? That's the question. How are those country roads doing, folks? All right, so you're going to put this on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to find, this is for 5 points. Make sure your name's on it. ATM assignment, you can put e-learning assignments. Do say 126. So find the mean, median, and the range of those numbers. All right, so first off, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. 7 numbers means you have a true middle. Numbers in black. You need to show me this work too. You're not getting credit. All right, so I'm going to put them in order least to greatest. 158, 167, 173, 182, 189, 190, 211. The middle is 182. The range is 211 minus 158. 211 minus 158, which you guys can do. You guys have calculators. All right, you can figure that out, 211 minus 158. All right, so what you can do for the mean, you also got to give me this number. I mean, this is an assignment. Add those 7 numbers together and get some number, divide it by 7, round it to 2 decimals. All right, I don't know, I'm going to guess. Gosh, it might be in the 170s. All right, but you can find that out for me. All right. I think we have 5 questions total. So make a stem plot. Stem and leaf plot, which is also called a stem plot of that data. I'm going to help you get started on this. There's all the data. You should be able to see it. All right, so you've got the number 43. Any other numbers in the 40s? I mean, I don't see. Then we have what? We have 57. Then we have 58. Then in the 60s, I have 64 and 68. 64 and 68. Then I have 72, 77, 79. 72, 77, 70. Oh, that's why I use pencil. Folks. There's a 76. 76. All right, then in the 80s, I have 85, 88. Then 90, 94, 94. All right, so there should be, let's see, 15 total numbers. 5, 9, 5, 9, 11, 14. Uh-oh. 14. And folks, that's why it's good, because I would have thought myself finished. Forgot about 83. Now we're at 15. All right. Number 3, make a stem plot of the data. Maybe home prices in thousands, maybe your bowling scores. All right, so 109 is the lowest. So you put a 10 tens, 109. I'm going to do a better job here. We have 12 total numbers. All right, then I have 117, followed by 2, 118, 117, 118, 118, followed by 123, 124, 127, followed by 35 and 39. 35, 39. Followed by 42. 42 is 151, the last one. Let's see. 4, 7, 11, and 12. Let's go. That's 12 numbers total. All right, folks. We're getting close here to the end. We're going to make a pie chart. I don't know. This could be voting. This could be grades, A, B, C, and D. So what we're going to do is we're going to add those numbers together. 240 and 160, that is 400. So the percentage of A is going to be 80 divided by 400, which is 20%. 20%. That's roughly that. A, 20%. And then B is going to be 160 over 140, which is 40%. 40%. So here's 50. It's going to be a little bit more when you add them together. 40%. All right. Then C is going to be 60 over 140, which is 15%, 0.15. And if you add those 3 numbers together, you get 75% exactly. So C is 15%. And that leaves me with D, 100 over 400 is 25%. D, 25%. All right, in the last one. This is going to be your video for today. Order of operations, say parentheses first. 5 minus 3 is 2. Minus 3 times 7 minus 11 is a negative 4. Plus 17. 4 times 9. Negative times a negative is a positive. Plus 17. 36 plus 12 plus 17. 65. Nice. All right. There it is. That's your notes and then your assignment. Make sure you turn that in when I see you first thing in class. This is Yak Math Videos signing out.